At the end of World War II, humanity looked with horror at the toll of death and destruction left by the Nazi regime. However, what many do not know is that several of the most bloodthirsty criminals of the Third Reich never faced justice. Some disappeared in the last days of the conflict. Others managed to evade the Allies and began new lives under false identities. Today, we will tell you the stories of those SS officers who were never found. Let's start with a chilling case. Ernst Heinrich Schmauser, Nazi deputy, Waffen-SS general, and responsible for the infamous death marches from Auschwitz. In January 1945, as Soviet troops approached the camp, Schmauser ordered the execution of hundreds of prisoners and the destruction of all evidence. Shortly after, he fled by car toward Breslau, ignoring warnings from German troops. From that moment, his whereabouts became a mystery. Was he captured by the Soviets? Or did he manage to escape by posing as a sick civilian? No one knows. Another sinister name is that of Eduard Deisenhofer, a prominent Waffen-SS officer. He participated in the bloodiest campaigns on the Eastern Front and in the German resistance in Normandy. In January 1945, he disappeared after a Soviet air attack in Pomerania. His remains were never found. Although his disappearance occurred in the midst of the chaos of war, Nazi hunters never stopped looking for him. Even more disturbing is the case of Lorenz Hackenholt, known for being the engineer of death in the extermination camps of Belzec, Sobibor, and Treblinka. He designed the mobile gas chambers that killed tens of thousands of people. After 1945, Hackenholt disappeared. Some reports claim that he adopted a new identity in Germany. Others place him in South America. Investigators even received threats when trying to track him down. His trail vanished, as if he had never existed. The list of missing officers continues. Walter Heinrich, first commandant of the Amersfoort concentration camp in the Netherlands, was a cruel Gestapo official. In 1945, he vanished, perhaps protected by his role in the Nazi Secret Service. Decades later, it was discovered that he was involved in clandestine operations that could have granted him immunity. A case shrouded in conspiracy theories is that of Hans Kammler, the engineer responsible for the V-2 missiles and the construction of extermination facilities. Officially, Kammler committed suicide in 1945, but his body never appeared. Some claim he was captured by the Americans and collaborated in Operation Paperclip. Others believe he escaped to South America, or even participated in secret experiments like the Bell. Wilhelm Schittli, commandant of concentration camps and manager of the Arbeitsdorf project, where prisoners were used as slave labor for Porsche, also disappeared in 1945 without a trace. His final fate remains an unsolved enigma. It's impossible to forget Martin Bormann, Hitler's right-hand man. For decades, it was believed that he had escaped to South America. Reports placed him in Argentina and Brazil. However, in 1972, remains were found in Berlin that, according to 1998 DNA tests, belonged to him. Even so, the theories of his escape persist. Another famous fugitive was Alois Brunner, Eichmann's accomplice and responsible for the deportation of more than 120,000 Jews. He managed to flee after the war, lived protected in Syria, and collaborated as an advisor to the regime. Despite the efforts of Nazi hunters and a millionaire reward, he was never caught. Aribert Heim, nicknamed the Death Doctor of Mauthausen, is remembered for his macabre medical experiments. After being captured and mistakenly released, he hid in Spain, Morocco, and South America. He was presumed dead in Brazil, but his death was never officially confirmed. Josef Mengele, the infamous Angel of Death of Auschwitz, fled to Argentina after the war. He lived in Buenos Aires, Paraguay, and Brazil, where he died by drowning in 1979. His death was confirmed decades later, but his story fueled myths and legends. Heinrich Müller, head of the Gestapo and architect of the final solution, was last seen in Hitler's bunker. Some say he died in Berlin, others believe he worked for the CIA or fled to South America. His fate remains one of the great enigmas. Walter Rauff, inventor of the mobile gas chambers, escaped to Chile and participated in the creation of the feared DNA during Pinochet's dictatorship. He died in 1984, protected by his network of contacts. Gustav Wagner, lieutenant at Sobibor, was found in Brazil in the 70s. His extradition was blocked, and in 1980, he was found dead with a stab wound. Some claim he committed suicide. Others assure that he was assassinated by the Mossad. Karl Silberbauer, the Nazi who captured Anne Frank, lived for years unpunished in Vienna. He was identified in the 60s, but was never convicted due to lack of evidence of direct violence. He died in 1972 without having paid for his role in the Jewish persecution. Finally, Wilhelm Mohnke, an SS officer linked to massacres of prisoners, was a Soviet prisoner and released in 1955. Although efforts were made to prosecute him for war crimes, lack of evidence kept him free until his death in 2001. These stories reveal the darkest side of the post-war era. Many of those responsible for humanity's worst crimes never faced justice. Some died in hiding. Others lived protected by international networks. Their fates continue to fuel theories, investigations, and the pending claim for justice. What do you think? Do you believe the truth about these fugitives will one day come to light? Leave your comment and subscribe for more hidden stories of Nazism and World War II.